Why does he keep avoiding the conversation?
Story time.
Let me tell you guys a little experience that my wife and I had in hopes that it'll be helpful to you. I wanted to be a good husband and a good dad so bad. That was the role that I wanted to be in. I'm just the best husband. Then I decided that I wanted to be a doctor too. And that meant that sometimes I had to work from 3 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, 6 days a week. Those hours are incompatible with being a good husband. My wife and I had 4 children at the time. She was exhausted and worn out and really wanted a partner and some help. And I was totally unavailable. If I took time away from studying to help her out, I was going to fail. She was miserable and I was miserable. She would come to me trying to talk about what a hard time she was having. Well, I was insecure about the fact that I was a terrible husband. I was racked with guilt for the fact that I was missing out all this time with my kids. I wasn't helping out my poor wife. And so when my wife came to me talking about things that she was struggling with, like, oh man, it's so hard dealing with the kids all day by myself, or, oh, it's so hard having to clean up all the messes that all the kids make all day and they just keep making it messy over and over and over again. These kinds of things were like a dagger to my heart because it felt like that meant I was a bad husband. Because I was a bad husband. I couldn't work those kinds of hours and be a good husband at the same time. It was impossible. So every time that my wife tried to have a reasonable conversation with me, I would turn into a pile of emotional goo on the floor, feeling super guilty. Then I would withdraw because I felt criticized, and I would avoid the conversation. I avoided the conversation because I felt guilty. I wasn't a good husband. You can't be a good husband and work that many hours. At least I couldn't. When I got home, I was absolutely emotionally deflated and exhausted. And so was my wife. This is just a great setting to have like deep conversations. And my wife couldn't communicate with me because I was too sensitive about it. I would just wander off and lick my wounds because I already felt like a bad husband. So what's the solution? For me, it was either fail medical school or be a good husband. Neither my wife or I wanted me to fail medical school. So the only option was to pass medical school and be a bad husband for a while. This made life very difficult. If someone is avoiding a conversation, it's very possible that they feel guilty, they feel bad. It's very possible that they're afraid that you're criticizing them or pointing out all their flaws. Sometimes you can get the medicine down if you put in a spoonful of sugar. Say a few positive things first, then get into the criticism. Just an idea. Share your thoughts.